Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Channel Zero, No End House. Episode 3 is called Beware the Cannibals. Full spoilers for the episode as always.
It's a good title.
It's an okay title. I never. Obviously, this episode made it clear why we're calling them cannibals. It makes somewhat sense. But last week, I
Yeah,
would not have referred to him as a cannibal.
me either.
But given that they've justified that he's kind of created from dreams and he's eating the other, or not dreams, memories. He's created from memories, but he's eating the other memories.
Yeah,
I kind of see
it
it.
is cannibalism, sort of. Just, I mean, it is. It's just not human cannibalism.
It's not physical cannibalism either. That's the thing. Like, I'd still call a dog eating a dog cannibalism.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, it just feels weird because it's like, again, Garmin Bozia-esque stuff rather than actual.
yeah. I guess it's the choice to do it is what makes it cannibalism.
Well, it feels like after the first time, he's got more of a hunger now. He's definitely itching
Yeah,
for more. Because I remember in the last episode, he ate the breakfast and he's like, "Oh, this tastes of nothing." It's like he wasn't expecting that. So it's
yeah,
almost like he's figuring it out himself. So that puts a nail in the theory that this is an entity that's feeding off this stuff. Although perhaps the entity that's controlling the house or the house itself is feeding off this going on, but it's not.
yeah. Could be.
It's not that itself that's feeding on the memories
No.
specifically. Uh, so this one was more creepy town. This was mostly Margot focused, I would say. Obviously, there's little bits of everyone else as well, but she got a lot of screen time with her father in this episode.
Yeah, this feels more like the first episode than the second in that sense.
Yeah, very tense. It was kind of waking up. Obviously, she notices the closets get this weird contoured perspective, and there's like something behind the clothes. But she knows that for now. Bit weird,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
hey ho.
I think you look at that and go, no, I'm not walking down that.
Until push comes to shove, which it may very well in about 10 minutes of the episode runtime, not 10 minutes of this conversation. It's not that long to get there. But she catches her so-called father practicing his morning hello. She's just
Yeah.
walking down the hall slowly, and all you hear is, "Good morning, Margot. Morning, Margot. Morning, Margot. Morning, Margot. Good morning, Margot."
Do you know what my favourite touch of all this was?
Mm-hmm.
When she interrupts him, he turns around and says it, and he says the last one that he did.
I never actually noticed that. That's a good- I think I just like the fact that he just said it. Like he didn't stop to think, "Oh, she caught me doing all that." He just turns around and
Yeah,
says,
pretends nothing happened.
"Oh, morning, Margot." Big fake smile on his face. Proper
Yeah,
creepy. But she goes down for breakfast and he's giving her some pancakes, and it sets up. It's actually kind of as weird. It was waffles, but they were kind of set up like pancakes. It was a weird mix of
yeah.
Belgian waffles and pancakes. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. You put syrup in
It's a
both of
fake
them.
world. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it sets up one of the ideas actually here that he's just made from memories because he tells her a story or a fact that she already knows about the syrup and how
Yeah,
and she it gets kind of awkward. She's starting to notice he's a bit weird, and it's like, yeah, obviously everything that brought up in the last episode is starting to sort of, okay, this is starting to get a bit unsettling, and then of course she finds the head in the trash, her mother's head, and that's where she has these quick flashbacks, and we see that not only did he extract the feeling of her mother to eat, it's also taking it from her, like entirely, like she's not there anymore, like she just sees like a void where her mother used to stand in those memories.
yeah,
Which then suddenly makes a lot of sense for the mysterious guy. What's his name? Dylan. His wife doesn't remember him, and it's all of a sudden that makes some sense.
yeah. It does. It's like, okay, that memory has been eaten.
Yeah,
You don't own that anymore.
and that's why she doesn't even know she's not in the real world anymore. Is because so many of her memories have been eaten that she's just kind of a zombie.
Become just a husk. Yeah,
Uh, so she tries to get away. She tries to go outside, but this is where he starts to get a bit sort of threatening, and a very kind of casual way. Where it's like, "Oh no, don't go out. I'll go with you." "Oh no, what do you want to do?"
yeah. It's more just forceful.
Yeah, blocking the door, that kind of thing. But she goes up to her room, and he like follows her up, and he stands outside the door. He wants to get in, and she gets so panicked. This is actually probably my first great filmmaking moment of the episode for me. Is there's this great 360 shot going around the room as she tries to break the window. She gets her chair and she starts just throwing it at the window, and it's doing nothing.
I love
But
when it cuts to outside and you can just see really how futile it is. Like it's not even making any noise.
there's no dents. It's almost like the fake house is soundproofed so that no one can even hear her screams for help.
Yeah.
That's just how difficult it is. But the camera does this 360 around the room from the middle, and it goes from seeing her, hit the door to just hearing the noise and looking at the door to where he is, and then it cuts out to him, and you just hear all this racket from his point
Yeah.
of view. I thought that was handled very well, and then it kind of becomes this. Obviously it's weird because she goes through the weird closet, and that leads to the pool.
Yeah.
It's almost like her memory had this weird back door to get into the water.
Yeah, we've seen like the water's a big thing for her. Do you think that's like a safe place sort of thing where it's like, this closet doorway is like, okay, this leads to somewhere safe.
Yeah, because obviously this stuff's built based on our memories. I wonder if, because our natural... I think you said it best, safe space. Her natural safe space is sort of built as a loophole without the house really meaning to, because it's just part of her psychosis.
Yeah, and it makes sense for the closet, because obviously a closet's a typical place for someone to hide. You hide behind the clothes.
Aye.
So it makes sense that, I think it makes sense for that to be the doorway to it.
Wait a minute. You went hide behind, just someone's in the closet.
No, I just think, it's a very typical image of someone hiding,
Oh, sure, in a
closet.
horror movie, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I just think in a more everyday sense, you talk about people being in the closet, that's where they feel safe, because the rest of the world's scary to, be open about whatever, usually it's being gay is the obvious example I use, but...
No, I was even just looking at a literal sense of, like, as a physical hiding place.
Aye, that was the dumb way, I said the smart way, right, we can move on with our lives.
Yeah, fine.
We got a comment actually on another video complaining that whenever I put down one of your points, you don't stick up for yourself enough. Which I think's baloney. I feel like I have to fight with you all the time on shit, but you know what?
See, I think the real secret is when I do fight back, you just edit it out. So it just looks like I don't.
I've not done that intentionally. I think I've edited stuff out for time because it got repetitive, but I've never intentionally went, oh no, he won that argument, I'm just going to cut out that last part just so he looks more like an idiot.
So the great part is, though, they'll never know you might have done that.
Yeah, they'll never know. You're in my hands. Anyway, so she gets out through the pool, and we get this kind of, I'd say a good half of the episode is this kind of horror movie. Well, I mean, obviously it's a horror show anyway, but I specifically mean the sense that it's this stalking kind of sequence where he's just this almost killer hunting her down. And while he doesn't necessarily want to kill her when he gets to her, it has that feel to it where he's just storming through the streets and she's running away. And obviously that this neighborhood's so idealistic and how laid out it is, and so empty that it feels creepy. Sort of in a reverse way. It's almost like it's too perfect. Yeah,
because there's nothing wrong. Everything just is there. It's all fine.
And of course, he has to go through this random neighbour who's watering his garden. He's got his hose out, and this man dies in a. I mean, actually, I like how it's handled in the first place anyway, because it's just this big wide shot. You just see him kind of do something from a distance. You don't really get to see what it is.
It's really obscured at first.
You get it, he's killed him. It's just kind of an assumption, but. It's when it goes into this close-up shot afterwards and his wife's kind of holding the guy's dead body, and you see that he's put the hose in the eye, but because the water's still flowing, there's just this spurting blood constantly coming
fantastic. Like, the thing is, it's like it worked before that anyway. It's like, no, it was a nice shot. It was a nice image of, okay, this guy's still threatening, like, and you got the context, like, okay, he's done something, that guy's gone down, and then it cuts in. It's like, now there's some real nice gore. Yeah, the gore was fun. It was almost a laugh out loud kind of moment. Just to appreciate the absurdity of it. But she ends up, Jules is looking for her. They meet up, and they all run into the school, this local school, which I thought was a very curious sequence in the episode, because she runs into what I assume is a teacher, but the teacher that she bumps into and has to sort of fight off is not speaking English. She's speaking a different language. And it sounded kind of Eastern European, maybe. That's kind of the closest I was getting to. Well, I'm going to go as far as saying Russian, based on the fact that you have the Russian national anthem play.
Yeah, that comes in right after this, which when they go into the next part of the school, that starts playing. And then if you pay attention, you'll notice that all the posters and all the books all have, Russian text on them. And I was like, why is that a Russian school? Like, is someone in here from Russia and they made the school, like, from their memories?
Yeah, it's like, this is someone who was in here in the past. Because obviously we know the house moves about.
Exactly.
Has it been in Russia at one point?
Yeah, but it was just this. It just added this extra surreal element. They just ran to a school, and you expect it to be the local neighborhood school, and no, all of a sudden they're in a school from Russia. It's just this
Yeah.
extra layer of the creepiness. But I love the second favorite sort of filmmaking moment that sort of stood out to me in this one is when they end up, it's Jules and Margot are hiding in one of the classrooms, and the classrooms all have windows, all just these big windows, and they're hiding, sort of ducking down beneath the window in one of the classrooms, and the dad walks in, and he's just sort of slowly walking up and down, looking through the windows, and he goes in a couple of the doors. But there's one point where he just stops in the middle of the hallway. And it's just a simple wide shot, but it's just sort of level, waist height, I'd say. And it's just him looking around, and you know that they're just on the other side. You can't see them either, but you know they're just on the other side, and it's super.
It's really tense, isn't it?
It's very effective geography filmmaking, is what I like to call it. I always talk about how action scenes they fail, they'll live or die based on if you understand the geography as you're watching it. Do you always have a good understanding of where people are in the location?
Yeah, and it's moments like this where you don't need to be doing anything clever with the camera if
Exactly.
you've set up the locations properly.
That's exactly because I just said it's just a static shot, but it's effective because, and it's also nicely framed because you've got like the big window and it's sort of split into
Yeah,
threes.
it's still like a nice shot, but it's not a complex shot.
No, it is. Yeah, easy. Anyone with a camera could go out and capture the shot. It's not.
Right.
You just need a tripod. That's all you need. Camera and a tripod. You're good. You're golden. No fancy jibs or steady cams or cranes or anything like
No,
that.
it's like I said, it's a simple shot, but it's done really well.
Yeah. But the guys bang some noise on the lockers outside to distract him, get him his attention
Smart.
elsewhere, and they get out and they all reconvene back at, I'm going to guess, Jill's house. Or
Could be,
I wasn't particularly clear. Now it's worth mentioning, of course, as well that JD, the last episode, we saw this copy of him beat the real JD. And we didn't quite see how far it went. It looked like he was maybe killing him, but we weren't entirely sure. Start of this episode kind of made it very clear.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so we're burning the body that's remaining. So we have fake JD. Is he one of these memory things? Because none of the other memory things have created themselves, but that's to say they couldn't. It could just be one of that. Is he something else?
Yeah, all the things that have been created though, or at least the initial creation, has been something very specific. Like, Margot's dad, it's very specific with what's going through her head.
Yeah, Jules is a weirder one, because we talked about the big egg, and in this episode you can clearly see it's like multiple people inside the egg pushing out of it.
Yeah.
But it's doing the same things, because the start of the episode is that it shows that this happened to her. It seems like her sister is growing out of this goo, just kind of like we saw with the mum last episode.
Yeah.
And she's probably missing from her memories now. And of course we end with her going down again at night, and the bubble's there, and she ends up leaning against the bubble after she tries to get away, and we see multiple pools of goo. It's almost like we're worried that next episode, at least I'm worried next episode, Jules is going to be completely empty. Like there's going to be nothing left in there.
I feel like at least one of our characters has to end like that.
Yeah.
JD's dead. I think we need one dead and one empty, at least.
Just so it feels like they've went through a turmoil.
Yeah. It's not like I want this person to, I want them dead. I want them to be empty. I just feel like it really is one of those things where the stakes don't feel high enough for, like, Margot. Obviously, Margot is our key character. They don't feel big enough for her unless you see the effects happen to the other characters in the group.
No, that's true. And Seth arguably seems like there's maybe other plans for him, and there may be more going on with him that we've not quite got to yet. Because he was the one who didn't really know. They just kind of met him at the bar in that first episode. So there's open to say, oh no, there's something more to him that's more connected to the house or whatever. Because he has a heart-to-heart with Margot. They go out looking because she sees something weird out the window. So let's go check this thing, and they find what turns out to be the edge of the world, almost Truman Show-esque if you've seen that movie, except that it's, instead of just being like a wall, it's a sort of almost force field kind of. It's like a video game when you reach the end of the map and there's like an invisible wall stopping.
It's exactly what it is. It's like, okay, this is it.
And so they climb this water tower, whatever it is, to sort of see like from a distance, and they sort of have this little. As they're walking there, as they go up, they have these kind of heart to hearts, and she's asking what he saw in room 5, what he saw, and he talks about all his foster families because he was a foster kid, But it all sounds, at least to me, it all sounds a little bit in the vague side. Like you can't really specify it. You just say, "Oh, I can't really remember them because I chose to forget."
Yeah, it's very suspicious, isn't it? Like, she's like, you can't not remember them. You're not that old.
It's a very easy sob story.
I do wonder, maybe some of it's true. Maybe he's lost some of these memories since coming here.
Yeah, maybe. I could be actually the obvious explanation is he's already just lost the people.
Yeah, that's possible. Or there's something deeper going on with him, which is just as likely in this case.
But of course, when they're up in this tower, they see the house off in this distance. It's almost like the regular game world ends, and then there's this sort of little hidden area, this little hidden field where the house is at the end of it. So obviously, so I like this because we've got a goal to get back to the house, and Dylan, and he's like basically kidnapped his own wife here, and he's got her tied up. In fact, there's a really great scene where the fake husband comes home as he's trying to talk to her, and he ends up having to stab him in the neck. So it's a
It's pretty cool.
delightful little sequence. But I like this because it's this is one of the things that I love when we're dealing with something that's kind of supernatural. Is we kind of set up a goal. We set up and I don't think the rules are necessarily set in stone right now. Like we don't have.
No, we have an idea of, okay, this place has, like, as big as it is, there are finite limits to its space.
Yeah. But so what comes along with rules though when you're dealing with supernatural is typically the characters can then make a goal. And sure, the goal's always being get out. But now we have a team. We have a team where one of the characters knows that he's escaped before.
Yep.
He knows what the risks are, he knows what the effects are. He's hoping that when he gets his wife out that she'll get her memories back. He's hoping that's what will happen when they get to reality. Which it might be, we have no idea at this point.
Yeah.
But they have a goal. They have a team of characters who all understand each other and they really want to get out. And they're aware of each other now. They go, because, we should have listened to you. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm glad I found you guys. I thought I was the only one. We have a team now that have a goal. So we're halfway through the show now. This is, 3 out of 6. So it's exciting for me that it's not, like, sure, I think at the start of a horror story you have to have them all be confused as shit and have them just be freaked out by what's going on. But for me there has to be a turning point where we're saying, no, this is the plan. This is where we're going to try and achieve something.
I agree, and I think any later than this would have felt like, okay, it's getting too far now. Because now we've got half the story to dedicate to, right, we have to get out. Whereas up till now it's like, okay, we don't really like this, discovering what's going on. But now it's, okay, now there's an objective, let's say.
Yeah, objective. It's actually good because it makes them proactive rather than reactive.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. I think your protagonist should be proactive. It's in the title.
Yeah.
They're not the reactivist.
It's a good word, though.
That's a good word. We could probably make a movie called The Reactivist, I think.
You probably could.
I don't know what the plot would be. I don't know. You go into, like, broken down factories and reactive. I don't know.
This is a classic case of building the story around the title.
Yeah. So someone will think of something good. We did kind of gloss over how they actually deal with the dad, because the dad ends up like finding them when they're out again. Jules goes out looking for Seth and Margot, and the dad sort of runs into, and they find this house that's got like a hole in the garage, and it's like a pit, and they cover it with a tarp. And she talks to him, and he actually, when he sees her and he gets close enough, he tries to, like, because she asked earlier on, like, why did you do it? Why did you kill yourself? He tries to give her an answer that she'll want to hear, but she realizes what's already been hinted at, that you're just created from my memories. You're literally telling me nothing that I couldn't have already either known or thought of.
Yeah, you don't actually know the reality.
Yeah, but sure enough, he falls into this pit. I actually really like this moment a lot. It had a very nice, quick sort of pull to it. It didn't feel like a sort of comical, oh, he fell in the pit moment.
It's just, he takes a step forward and then he's gone.
Yeah. And then when you look down, it just looks like this bottomless pit. Like you're in a video game. It's just like the game world's ended at the floor. There's nothing underneath, so you just went.
Yeah. We've all fallen through the floor on a game before.
Yeah, exactly. It's a glitch that happens sometimes. So, which now I'm picturing him just sort of in, like, doing this.
Yeah, in all the black lines that you always get.
You always get them sort of, like, repeating their animation as they fall, because the computer doesn't know what to do with it. So they're just kind of...
Just there for eternity.
Yeah. So we climax with Margot and Seth have a moment and end up having sex together. They spend the night. As we said, Jules goes down to the basement, touches the big egg, and it creates lots of the pools, which is why we're worried she might be like a husk in next episode. Now JD, he was concerned because he was asking Dylan earlier on, like, what happens when one of these cannibals has nothing to feed on anymore? Which maybe implies that he is one of these things because he seems concerned that he's not got anything to
No,
feed
I
on.
think so. I think he killed his host, and he's going, maybe that was a bad idea.
Yeah, it's like he didn't know. Kind of like the dad, he didn't know he was supposed to feed him that at first until he sort of
Until he had it, and it was like, oh, this is what I'm here for.
yeah, and he's like coming apart. His skin is like peeling off of his arm, and this is the interesting thing at the end. So JD comes down into the kitchen and he sees him. He's like, "Oh, you're falling
Seth.
apart already." Sorry, Seth. Yeah, you're right, Seth. And he says JD. And he's like, "Oh, you're falling apart already." And I thought that was an interesting phrasing.
Yeah, and Seth's just, I think he said, JD says he's just, allergic to something. And
Yeah.
and Seth seems to he's just like, all right, whatever. He just goes back to bed.
And I kind of was like, okay, fair. It was a weird way to say it, but I'm not necessarily suspicious of that in itself. But then he goes back to bed and Eliza, and Margot cuddles into him. And the final shot's just him looking up, sort of dead straight ahead, like thinking about something. And then it cuts to the credits. And all I can think
if I
is,
wasn't suspicious already.
yeah, he knows something. Maybe he's not evil, but he knows something.
Yeah, this didn't shock him, did it?
It's very odd. Is he like a human person for the house that goes out and like lures more people in or something? I don't know.
I mean, could he be one of these, like this JD, these creations? Could he be one that got out of the house? Can they get out of the house?
I don't know. Thinking he's an agent for the house, I'm just thinking about, if he's emotionally manipulating Margot into like giving her a reason to stay, almost like you've got this relationship, we can be happy in here, blah 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 blah. Is that where he's going with this? Because he has that moment up in the water tower when they're looking at all the big barrier around the town, and he says, "Oh, it's kind of beautiful," and he plays it off as a joke. He's like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with appreciating the moment." And they'll laugh it off, and it does play fine in and of itself because it is kind of a cool visual.
Yeah, no, definitely. But it's adding up, isn't it?
Yeah, just the little seeds adding up, just a little touch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't trust him.
I dug this episode. This maybe my favourite of the three. The dad chasing her around, all that stuff, that Terminator-esque kind of chase sequence, I was really, really into.
I agree. I think the first one might kind of stay my favorite for the idea of going through the rooms.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see it.
But in the actual plot, I think this has definitely been the tightest. This has definitely done some really good stuff with it.
Yeah, I will say I'm surprised with, again, we said this last episode, but I'm surprised with how, because I think in the last episode we said, oh, we're surprised they confirmed, or they started talking about, oh, is this room 6? Like we were surprised they said that out loud and just started talking about it like we were. And then in this one, I was surprised they actually went as far as to say, oh no, there's barriers, there's kind of edge to this thing. It doesn't just feel
and they
infinite.
confirm that these are from memories. That's what's going on. They're feeding on the other memories. It's moving a lot quicker than I expect. Even with only 6 episodes, I still think it will move slower than this.
Yeah, it was the moment when Dad said, "Oh, I think I eat their memories." Like he said that line, and I'm like, "Oh shit, they're actually talking."
Yeah.
Like I thought it was just going to be like, no one was going to speak about it. It was just going to be a thing.
It's got me really off guard because so far everything has been quicker than I expect. So I'm like, okay, if the ending is quicker than I expect, what I think would be the ending, just getting out of the house. Is there something after that, or is there something that's going to delay them?
Something, maybe more difficult to get to the house than they think. Either that, or they'll get out or they'll think they're out, and then it'll do the twist where they're still in the house.
I feel like one last episode sort of thing.
Yeah, that said, that'll be really obvious if they. I mean, unless like the real world has changed because of what's happened to them, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe they'll have to go back in. Like maybe they'll realise they took out the fake someone. Maybe not JD because he's dead, but like maybe they get the fake, I don't know, Jules out or something. They're like, oh shit, we have to go back for Jules. So they have to like, kind of like how Dylan's had to find it again and go back in for his wife.
I can see it.
That could be maybe a thing. I don't know. But and again, maybe that would feel rushed if they do that. I don't know. But we got 3 episodes. We'll see what they do. But they've been surprising us so far with how they've been moving it. So
yeah, but definitely enjoying it a lot.
So yeah, that's episode 3 of No End House. Let us know what you thought of it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on Twitter at mild_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mildfuzztv. You can do that over there. But otherwise, that's us. So thank you once again for watching. Keep watching TV. Have you got any vanilla?